We're not here for the Wall Street hedge fund narrative, or the boring ETF roundtables where guys in suits sip sparkling water and pretend they discovered crypto. Nah. We're here because most of us in this game are just regular people staring at charts at 2 a.m., wondering if that green candle is the beginning of generational wealth, or just another cruel trick before we wake up wrecked. And right now, the coin on trial is Stellar Lumens, XLM. Some of you reading this are OGs who remember the absolute chaos of 2017, when Stellar decided it wasn't just another sleepy altcoin but actually went full rocket ship mode and smoked past people's expectations. Others joined during the 2021 bull run, got wrecked when it didn't do the 100x everyone swore on Twitter was guaranteed, and left muttering, "Never again." And then we've got the curious lurkers, watching from the sidelines in 2025, wondering if it's even worth stacking XLM when the internet seems obsessed with memecoins and AI tokens. Here's the kicker. If history has taught us anything in crypto, it's that the most hated coins often make the nastiest comebacks. So, let's rewind the tape and actually walk through Stellar cycles. Because if you want to even pretend to make a 2030 price prediction, you can't skip the receipts. Picture this. The crypto market is just starting to go viral. Bitcoin's surging, Ethereum's introducing this crazy concept of smart contracts, and suddenly every college dropout with a laptop is launching an ICO. And then out of nowhere Stellar Lumens, XLM, explodes onto the scene. In early 2017, XLM was basically pocket change. By January 2018, it had pulled a wild 30,000% plus pump from the ashes. Yeah, you read that right. Stellar went from being that coin nobody cared about to rubbing shoulders with the top market cap coins. The funniest part? Most people didn't even understand what Stellar was. All they saw was payments, partnerships, IBM, remittances, and assumed it was the next Bitcoin. Retail apes FOMO'd in. Reddit threads were full of XLM to $10 easy. And Twitter influencers were dropping rocket emojis like their life depended on it. Of course, it ended the way all parabolic runs do. Brutal, merciless collapse. Stellar retraced so hard it sent half its holders back to their 9-to-5 jobs with PTSD. But here's the key thing. It proved Stellar had breakout potential. It wasn't just a low-cap memecoin lucky pump. It was a legit network with momentum. Fast forward to the 2021 bull run. Everyone thought Stellar would repeat its 2017 glory. Bitcoin went to $69,000, Ethereum almost hit $5,000, Solana went from couch change to Lamborghini money. And Stellar? Well, let's just say it didn't quite live up to the hype. Sure, it pumped. Everything pumped. But compared to its competitors, Stellar looked like that kid in gym class who shows up but doesn't even try to run the lap. From the COVID lows in 2020, XLM did about a 10x at peak. Respectable, but compared to coins doing 100x or even 1,000x, it was like being proud you won bronze in a 3-person race. Retail apes who were expecting $10 XLM minimum ended up disappointed. This was the era where Stellar became the sleepy giant. It was still around. It still had partnerships. It was still moving money across borders in real-world use cases. But retail didn't care. Why? Because real utility is boring. What's exciting is dog coins doing 20x in a week. So while XLM was out there actually building infrastructure with things like MoneyGram integration, USDC on Stellar, humanitarian aid pilots, retail traders were screaming dead coin and moving their bags into whatever memecoin Elon Musk was tweeting about that week. The result? Stellar ended the cycle as one of those safe but boring plays. Not dead, not explosive, just meh. But here's the thing about boring coins in one cycle. They usually get their revenge in the next one. Now here we are in 2025. The halving has passed. Bitcoin is flexing again, climbing to new highs. Altcoins are stirring. And Stellar? Sitting there like a coiled spring. Here's why that's interesting. Cycles always rotate. Historically, coins that underperform in one cycle often outperform in the next. Think about Ethereum in 2017 versus 2021. Think about Solana recovering after its crash. Stellar fits this rotation pattern perfectly. It's massively undervalued compared to its peers. While everyone is chasing shiny new narratives, AI tokens, DePIN, meme garbage, Stellar is quietly consolidating with a market cap that feels tiny compared to the size of the global payments market. Retail has short memories. Right now, the XLM is boring crowd is still asleep. But history shows that once the breakout candles come, they'll all come crawling back with their FOMO tweets. Think of it this way. XLM is like that kid in school everyone clowned on for being quiet. And then 5 years later, they show up rich, shredded, and driving a sports car. That's the type of revenge setup Stellar is sitting on heading into 2030. I don't care if you're talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Stellar, or some coin literally called Inu Pepe 420. The cycle mechanics are always the same. Here's how it goes. So where does Stellar fit in? Glad you asked. Stellar isn't Bitcoin. It's not Ethereum. It's not even in the garbage coin category. It's a mid-cap OG that's already proven it can move violently when the cycle rotation hits its tier. Think back to 2017. Nobody saw Stellar's 30,000% pump coming. By 2021, people expected it, which is exactly why it underperformed. The market loves to punish expectations. But now, in 2025, Stellar is back in the sweet spot. Undervalued, underhyped, and underrated. Exactly the kind of coin that catches people off guard when mid-cap season kicks in. Here's the dirty little secret. Retail doesn't actually care about fundamentals. They care about 3 things. It's only 10 cents. If it goes to $1, I'll be rich. Newsflash, market cap matters. But try telling that to retail. They look at XLM trading under $1 and immediately think it's a bargain compared to Bitcoin at $80,000. Retail loves nostalgia. The moment XLM starts running again, people will drag out those 2017 charts showing 30,000% gains and convince themselves it'll do it again. Whether it actually hits that number is irrelevant. The hype alone fuels the pump. Now let's get to the fun part. The actual numbers. Nobody wants vague "it'll go up" predictions. They want price targets. So let's run 3 scenarios. Let's say Stellar just keeps pace with the market. Nothing crazy, no 30,000% moonshot, just steady growth. Current market cap, 2025 roughly $5 to $6 billion. By 2030, if Stellar tracks Bitcoin's expected growth, let's assume Bitcoin hits $250,000 and the market expands 5-6x overall. XLM could easily land in the $1.50 to $3 range. Not life-changing, but hey, a solid 10x from current prices. Now let's say Stellar actually does what midcaps usually do, outperform majors for one cycle. Stellar's all-time high market cap in 2018 was $15-16 billion. If it catches midcap hype, we could see it pushing $100 billion plus market cap by 2030. That would put the price somewhere around $8 to $10. Now we're talking serious returns, the kind of numbers that make people start flexing screenshots on Twitter. Let's imagine the stars align. Bitcoin smashes $500,000 plus, retail goes full mania, and Stellar repeats something close to its 2017 style run. If Stellar somehow pulls a 50x, 100x move from current levels, not impossible in crypto, just rare, we're talking $20 to $30 per XLM by 2030. Would that make sense fundamentally? Not really. Would it matter in the middle of a retail-driven mania where coins named after dogs are hitting $50 billion market caps? Absolutely not. Here's the real takeaway. Stellar doesn't need to reinvent the wheel to make insane gains by 2030. It just needs to do what it already did once. Go from boring to wait, why is this pumping so hard? In the middle of a cycle. And if you've been around crypto long enough, you know that's exactly how this market works. The most hated, ignored, and clowned on coins often make the nastiest comebacks. Alright, we've gone through the cycles, we've laughed at retail's predictable behavior, and we've mapped out conservative, bullish, and mega bullish scenarios. But let's be honest here, crypto isn't about spreadsheets and rational models. It's about chaos, hype, timing, and just enough belief to ride the wave before it crashes into the rocks. So let's finish strong. Let's talk about the wild cards, the traps, and the ultimate verdict for XLM by 2030. Sometimes in crypto, it's not the obvious fundamentals that light the match. It's the left-field catalysts that nobody saw coming. Here are the 3 that could push Stellar into, oh damn, this thing really woke up territory. Everybody loves an underdog comeback. In 2021, Stellar was the forgotten cousin at the family reunion. XRP had the SEC drama and free press. Bitcoin and Ethereum hogged the headlines, and meme coins like Doge and Shiba stole the spotlight. Stellar? Barely mentioned. That actually sets it up perfectly for 2029/2030. If XLM suddenly starts pumping while everyone's attention is elsewhere, the revenge arc narrative will catch like wildfire. TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. People love a comeback story more than they love a new story. This one cannot be overstated. Retail traders will look at Stellar sitting at, say, 40 cents in 2025 and think, wow, if it just hits $1, I'll double my money. Wait, it used to be near $1 before? Oh, it's definitely going back. Hold up, it did 30,000% in 2017? Bruh. Meanwhile, the same retail crowd will stare at Bitcoin at $120,000 and say, nah, it's too late. The psychology is baked into the system. As long as Stellar stays under double digits, it will always look cheap compared to the giants. That alone is fuel. This one's spicy. What if Stellar, a project that's always branded itself as serious, humanitarian, banking the unbanked, suddenly becomes a meme? Stranger things have happened. Look at Dogecoin, which literally started as a joke. Imagine if the younger generation latches onto Stellar because of its star branding, or someone launches viral TikTok edits about sending money to the moon with Stellar. That kind of thing can turn a sleeper project into an overnight retail obsession. Sounds dumb, but in crypto, dumb often equals profit. Alright, enough teasing. Let's lock this prediction in. By 2030, I don't expect Stellar to be the #1 coin in crypto. It's not going to flip Bitcoin. It's not going to dominate Ethereum. But here's what it absolutely can do. Reclaim its position as one of the top mid-cap plays. Ride the cycle rotation harder than people expect. Catch retail's attention with the cheap coin psychology. Shock everyone with 1 or 2 monstrous rallies before 2030. So here's my final tiered forecast for Stellar by 2030. Base case, safe $2 to $3. A respectable 10x, riding steady market expansion. Bullish case, $8 to $10. A breakout mid-cap winner in the 2029/2030 cycle. Mega bullish case, $20 to $30. Stellar does what Stellar did in 2017 and absolutely melts faces with a once-in-a-cycle pump. Will it hold $30 forever? Probably not. Will it wick there in a mania phase? Absolutely possible. Look, nobody's saying to put your entire net worth into Stellar and pray. Diversification is smart. But here's the thing. In every cycle, there are a handful of coins that absolutely crush it because they're forgotten, undervalued, and perfectly positioned for a surprise run. In 2017, Stellar was that coin. In 2021, it was ignored. In 2029/2030, it might just be that coin again. So the real question is, when the lights turn back on and Stellar starts printing green candles like it's 2017, are you going to be watching from the sidelines? Or are you going to be holding a bag and laughing at all the people who said it was too boring? Because here's the cold truth. By the time it's obvious, it's already too late. If you believe in cycles, if you believe in psychology, and if you believe history has a way of repeating itself, then Stellar XLM deserves a spot in your bag heading into 2030. Don't sleep on the comeback kid.